We continue to follow breaking news at HQ. Connor McDavid re-signing with the Edmonton Oilers. McDavid has led the NHL in points in 5 of his first 10 seasons in the league, has the second most in franchise history behind only Wayne Gretzky. He's also led Edmonton to back-to-back Stanley Cup final appearances for the first time since 1988. Third most 100-point seasons in league history behind only Mario Lemieux and the Great One. Let's bring in Pierre McGuire to talk about this extension here. Do we have an idea on the money here, Pierre? And just give me your initial thoughts of what we're learning today.
Yeah, Tommy, he did a Tom Brady. He took less money for the well-being of the Edmonton Oilers franchise. So I give a lot of credit to Connor McDavid and Judd Moldover, his agent. He's signed a 2-year extension. So basically what he has, he's got 3 years left on his deal. This year plus 2 more. At $12.5 million. If it's not worked out by then and Edmonton hasn't won a Stanley Cup, I have to think that he's still got plenty of game left and he'll move on. That's number one. Number two, and I think this is really important, when you look at it, Leon Draisaitl's in the first of an 8-year deal. Darnell Nurse is in the fourth of an 8-year deal. Evan Bouchard's in the first of a 4-year deal, and they just signed his favorite coach and friend, Chris Knobloch, to a 3-year extension. So everything's kind of coming together the right way, Tommy, for the Edmonton Oilers and for Connor McDavid.
Well, when we take a look, and you mentioned the Tom Brady aspect of it, them knocking on the door, they still have to get over the likes of Florida. We've seen Tampa Bay over the last handful of years. When you talk about team building and the head coach, Pierre, what stands out to you about what Edmonton continues to try to do on the ice there?
I think the biggest thing is that they've got a clearly defined leader in McDavid. He's got great interpersonal relationships with Leon Draisaitl, Darnell Nurse, and Evan Bouchard. You got to pay attention to this too, Tommy. I think it's really important. When the season ended last year, Connor McDavid and his agent met with the Edmonton Oilers people in Toronto, not in Edmonton. And one of the things they talked about in that meeting was we need to have Evan Bouchard on a long-term situation. And they did. They got Evan Bouchard done on a 4-year deal. And so that's part of the posse that's out in Edmonton right now. They've got a good team. Their team building's been solid. I think the biggest thing for them is finding a way to get through the gritty moments of a long series. And this year, one of the things to pay attention to, while everybody's trumpeting this deal, and they should, it says a lot about the character of Connor McDavid. The Vegas Golden Knights are not going to be a soft touch in the Western Conference. And the Vancouver Canucks are going to be much improved. And the Winnipeg Jets and the Minnesota Wild aren't going anywhere. And don't discount the Dallas Stars. So when you look at it all, as much as everybody's saying, oh, this puts Edmonton on top of Old Smoky, not so fast.
I was going to say, because, the first Stanley Cup final against Florida, there was Chris Knobloch talking about the Buffalo Bills. And if Edmonton got back and lost again, my goodness, he would have been come full circle with that, Pierre. But to your point, where would you rank Edmonton right now when it comes to where they're at and what they're trying to do?
I have them second in the Western Conference right now, right behind the Vegas Golden Knights and just ahead of the Vancouver Canucks, Tommy. So I think that they're still an elite team. They're not going anywhere anytime soon. They clearly need to fix their defense, their overall depth on defense. That's something that I think will go into this year. And they're going to have to figure out the goaltending situation. If Stuart Skinner's good enough, they'll get it done with Stuart Skinner. If he's not good enough, it's going to be a problem for them long term.
Lastly, before I let you go, you touched upon it again, Connor McDavid taking a Tom Brady-like deal. What does it say to fans about arguably the game's best player, that he's going to be getting less money than Kirill Kaprizov and some of the other guys as highest paid players in the game?
I think when Connor McDavid gets around a guy like Sidney Crosby or Nathan McKinnon and he realizes what those guys have done to sacrifice for the well-being of their teams. Crosby won the Cup in 2009. Crosby won the Cup in 2016. Crosby won the Cup in 2017. McKinnon's won a Stanley Cup. The only thing McDavid hasn't done is won a Cup. McDavid will eventually, I believe, win a Cup. But McKinnon and Crosby have won the Cup, and they've taken less money to make sure the team around him would be very competitive. So I think it says a lot about his character and his willingness to learn what it takes to win at the National Hockey League level.
Pierre, appreciate you as always. Hockey regular season starts tomorrow in the NHL, and the Edmonton Oilers will take on the Calgary Flames. Here's Connor McDavid taken to X, posting some pictures and posting our journey here continues.